included a great deal of the CARES or HERF and pandemic-related funding that is not present in the current fiscal year. So that's a big change there. And then property taxes were actually doing a little bit better, as well as investment earnings as compared to the previous year, reflective of those increased interest rates. On the next page then, looking at our expense side, again, very similar to what you've seen in previous months. Salaries and benefits tracking ahead again, reflective of salary increases that were approved for this year. Operating expenses very comparable. And then on the next page, looking at the revenues minus expenses, again, you'll see we're below where we were last fiscal year, but that's largely a function of those grant funding differences and the ending of the pandemic funding from that was in last fiscal year. The next couple pages there are just that same data, just the details. Then on page 13, we look at our preliminary February numbers, budget to actual. So leap year, February 29th. So this is 67% into our fiscal year. The top half, looking at revenue, again, similar to what you've seen in previous months, we're tracking well there. Tuition and fees just over 90%. Shown there. This does not yet reflect any summer registration. We won't see that start opening until March. And then on the bottom half of that page, looking at the expenses, using our 67% somewhat as a gauge, you can see most of those categories tracking where they ought to be. Both student services and scholarships are tracking ahead of that, both for the same reason, because student services includes athletic scholarships, whereas the scholarship category has the other institutionally funded scholarships. So for the same reason, those are both tracking, you can see very similar to each other. Then following that, of course, again, are just those underlying numbers. On page 15 is our capital budget. Again, very similar to what you've seen in previous months, where we have, we did complete the roof repairs on both the ARC and Westover. This does not yet include our payment on the drainage project that we have going on over at Lively. You'll see that in March. Following that, looking at our cash and banks, if you turn over to page 18 and look at the pie graph, you can see that this is as of March 4th. Again, this is prior to our payment on the drainage project. But it is reflective of our spring financial aid. That's usually a bit of a cash influx for that period. So very typical for this time of the fiscal year. We did have a certificate of deposit. This is not scholarship related, but just college funds that we invested in a CD. And then, so we got some funds. We did a 3-month CD that then came due, and then we also renewed that because we're getting the most recent rate on that is 5.65. So that's a pretty decent rate of return considering the last several years we've gotten 2% at best. So we're trying to take advantage of that while we can. And then lastly, looking at our bid report, the only bid that we have pending right now is our custodial services. We did just receive the responses of that. We don't have those evaluated yet. So we'll have information to come in future months about that. Any questions?
Is there a motion to approve Ms. Eubank's report?
I will make that motion.
Motion by Dr. Hager, second by Dr. Richardson. All in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Eubank. Moving on to the President's report.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair. So it has been a busy month. We want to start off with talking about the alumni reunion. Had a lot of things go on with alumni reunion, to basketball games, started with a pancakes breakfast. We're able to have a baseball game this year, which was really well attended and well reviewed. We had the Raider of the Year announced, Coach Dusty Dinkins, 50-year celebration of our first nursing graduating class, and announced our alumni star, Miss Desma Reno, who is a former nursing graduate. So really a big day, well attended, fine art showcase, alumni art show. A lot of activity went off very, very well and very well reviewed. So a fun day was had by all. Following that, we hosted Poplar Bluff Trivia Night, which is a fundraising activity for the Black and Gold Scholarship. So we had 21 paid teams, and every round was sponsored and raised right at $3,000 in student support money. Then Elizabeth Enox hosted a book reading on March 5th in the library. Really great to have her on campus showcasing her new book. And then Social Services Career Day was March 6th. Very well attended, had a lot of different partners in the community, and a lot of members of staff and students come to explore careers in the social services. Then on March 15th, the Lady Raiders won the Region 16 championship. So we are off to the national tournament this coming week in Casper, Wyoming. So this is our 4th consecutive trip to the national tournament. Lady Raiders go in as the 11th seed and play the 22nd seed on March 27th. So let's get behind the Lady Raiders. We will have a send-off for them on Saturday. Time and location to be announced. Then the Eminence Volunteer Fire Department actually, ironically, suffered a catastrophic fire at their station that took away all of their firefighting equipment. And our firefighting and emergency services programs got together and were able to deliver to them some supplies and equipment that they can use to serve their communities. We're proud to be a partner in our communities that we serve and help in every way that we can. Then I want to give an update on the construction project, the drainage project in front of the Lively Center. Those pictures are a little bit dated at this point. I actually talked to the contractor this morning, and they have every intention of finishing this week. So they are way ahead of schedule, have done a really good job, and it is an on-budget project. And then I am pleased to announce that our latest graduating class from the RN program has a 100% pass rate. A lot of work, a lot of effort has gone into this. Both our PN program in December and now our RN program have both achieved a 100% pass rate, which is an absolutely monumental accomplishment. So congratulations to them. And then some upcoming events. Greg Edmondson Art Exhibit, our next art exhibit in the Art Gallery, March 18th through April 12th. And then the artist reception will be 6 p.m. April 4th. We are hosting the Misha District State Music Competition Festival, March 21st and 22nd. So District 2 competition is here at Three Rivers. And then we are once again on March 23rd hosting the Southeast Missouri Regional Spelling Bee. We have been the host of the Scripps Spelling Bee for a number of years now. And in years past, our winner has gone on to have a very impressive showing at the National Spelling Bee. So if you'd like to come out and learn that you don't know how to spell very well, come and watch these kids spell words that you never heard of. And then on March 23rd, we are having, as a fundraising event, the Chicks Only Extravaganza, 4 to 6 at the Westwood Hills Country Club. This is a Three Rivers Endowment Trust event. We have $5,000 worth of prizes already donated. Tickets are $30. That includes your admission, 1 egg pull, 1 drink pull, and snacks. Only 100 slots available. There are a few tickets left, so if you're interested, you need to get those quickly. And then we are doing our next mini-series in the Plaster Lecture Hall starting tonight, March 27th, and then April 3rd from 6 to 7:30. This is How to Spot a Sociopath. Then March 27th, Brain Structure and Genetics with Dr. Ryan Anderson, and April 3rd will be Symptom Presentation and Treatment with Nita Buchanan. So, great program. The last one was very, very well attended, well worth someone's time to go to this. Then, as I said, March 27th is the start of the National Junior College Athletic Association National Tournament. The number 11 seeded Lady Raiders will play number 22, Mississippi Gulf Coast. And then from that, the winner plays number 6, Shelton State, on the following day. So that will happen at 1:15 Central Time, and we will be audio broadcasting that over YouTube with our very own Voice of the Raiders, Dr. Tim Hager. And then Easter break, no classes March 28th through April 1st. And then when we return, starting April 4th, is Liberal Arts Week 2024. The Poetry Slam kicks that off April 4th, 6 p.m. at the Robert W. Plaster Free Enterprise Center Lecture Hall. Then that continues with a music showcase at 7 p.m. same night in the Tenon Theater. Both of those are free. And then following that, April 8th, as part of the Total Eclipse of the Bluff, we'll begin at the Tenon Center at 10 a.m. with astronaut Tom Akers presenting. He is a local resident that was a NASA astronaut. And then Isaac Lassiter, who is a PhD candidate in astrophysics, University of Wisconsin-Madison, and a Poplar Bluff native, will be coming back and give a lecture at 11 a.m., followed by the noon presentation by Dr. Paul Larson, our local physicist and instructor of physics at the college, and he will be giving a eclipse presentation, and following that, the eclipse is at 1:08. So come watch Dr. Larson tell everyone not to look directly into the sun. April 11th, we'll host our next college transfer fair in the Plaster Free Enterprise Center. It's an opportunity for our students and students from anywhere to meet with various four-year college programs and talk about where they might want to transfer. That then is followed with our job fair and career expo, which is the career program version of a transfer fair, April 16th, 10 to 2 in the Lively Family Sports Complex. Then our final patron show, An Evening with Mark Twain, April 18th, 7 p.m., Tenon Fine Arts Center. This show is sponsored by Dental Arts Group, and this will be a really neat show. The gentleman who will perform as Mark Twain actually does the show as Mark Twain, doing one of his original shows from his life. So, very interesting show coming up. That, Mr. Chair, is the President's report, and we do have executive session items.
Thank you, sir. Is there a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
By Dr. Richardson, and a second by?
I'll second.
Dr. Hager. This is a roll call vote.
Trustee Featherston?
Yes.
Trustee Richardson? Yes. Trustee Hager?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Sure. We are officially in executive session.